What thoughts do I want to fire and wire in my brain? And with attention and with intention. If a belief is just a thought you keep thinking over and over in your brain, you can begin to install neurological hardware in your brain. Keep doing it, and the hardware becomes a software program, and the side effect of that is that's a new voice in your head. No magic there. If you said, how am I going to be with my ex? How am I going to be with my coworker? How am I going to be with my kids? What would greatness look like today? What would love do today? And if you closed your eyes and you rehearsed the scene, the act of mental rehearsal, just imagining something, the brain, when it's present, doesn't know the difference between what the person is imagining and the real life experience. And the brain is changing to look like the event has occurred. Keep installing that hardware, and all of a sudden it'll become a software program. And you might actually start acting like a happy person. No magic there either. You primed the brain for that behavior. You installed it. This is the hard part for most people. Can you teach your body emotionally what the future will feel like before it happens? That means you're not waiting for your wealth to feel abundant. You're not waiting for your success to feel empowered. You're not waiting for your new relationship to feel love. You're not waiting for the mystical experience to feel awe. You're not waiting for your healing to feel gratitude. That's the old model of reality of cause and effect. Wait for something outside there to change, to take away this lack or separation or emptiness that I feel inside me. But if you begin to condition your body into the emotion of that future, and you could become familiar with that emotion because you could bring it up every day, and you could keep becoming more familiar with the way you're thinking, the way you're acting, and the way you're feeling. If you actually feel the emotions of your future before they happen, you'll never look for it. Why would you look for that future if it felt like it already happened? Get ready. I'm telling you, get ready, because weird things are going to happen in your life. Your world is rocked. And somehow you come to the awareness, the consciousness, the understanding that somehow you're creating this. And we move from being the victims of our lives to being the creator of our lives. And I want people to experience that, to prove to themselves how powerful they really are. And people have done all kinds of things as a result of it.
Our minds are so powerful. And once we start to understand how the mind works, then we can tap into our minds and create a life that actually matters. Mm-hmm. See? This is why understanding neuroscience is so important, right? And understanding that our thoughts create electromagnetic vibrations, and those vibrations become magnetic, and they have a gravitational pull to them, and things matter, and those things come to us based upon those vibrations, right? Mm-hmm. So I think the mind is very, very important, especially for this generation. Mm-hmm. So mind over matter, that's what that means to me is, to answer your question, is just the mind being the primary thing before we put it on something physical or tangible. The molecular structure of water can and will change by even us just speaking to it. Mm. So like, right in emotion, if I boom, 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 hey, I love you, I love you, I love you, you love me, you empower me, you energize me. Oh, this is what's happening, right? Yeah. So, but that's why I say it's very important to understand physiology, neuroscience, how our body works, mm-hmm. how our mind works, and that in association to things that we consume, things that we use, and stuff like that. And there's a opportunity in the space now for us to basically wake up. And I think it's very important that we take advantage of that, right?
Your brain, the physical functioning of your brain, the moment by moment physical functioning of your brain creates your mind. And if your brain's not right, your mind's not right. And there are a lot of spiritual teachers that'll separate the mind from the brain, but you can't, because just think of Alzheimer's disease, very damaged brains, and they're very damaged minds that go, people that act in ways they'd never act if their brain was healthy, that they don't remember people that they're deeply in love with. And so if we want a healthy mind, it actually starts with a healthy brain. And, I've had the blessing or the curse to scan over 1,000 convicted felons and over 100 murderers, and their brains are very damaged. So if your behavior is so bad, you end up in a cage. And they're not thinking, oh, I have to understand, evaluate, rehabilitate that person's brain, and then they act better. And that helps all of us. Dostoevsky once said, you can tell about the soul of a society, not by how it treats its outstanding citizens, but by how it treats its criminals. I was looking initially for the one type of, where's depression in the brain? And then I realized, there's not one type of depression, there's 7. Where's ADD in the brain? Well, there's not one type of ADD, there's 7. That's why Ritalin's controversial. For some people, it's a miracle. For other people, it's a nightmare. And it depends on how your brain works. And then I realized I was seeing patterns of personality. Like if your frontal lobes work too hard, you tend to be worried and rigid. And if things don't go your way, you're upset. And I have, of my 5 girls, 2 of them have this pattern. And I know no matter what I say to them, they're going to dismiss it. It's going to bounce off. It's like they wear Teflon. And so if we're like shopping, I love shopping with my girls, and I go, oh, do you like this? The answer will be immediately no. So for them, I know their type, and I wait for them to show me stuff. And if I want them to do something, I'll actually ask them the opposite of what I want them to do, because they're just, these people, they're just sort of naturally oppositional. And if I want them to go to the store with me, I'm going to go to the store. You probably don't want to go with me. Yeah. It's like, what do you mean I don't want to go with you? We don't spend any time together.
It is often the case that emotional pain that is not recognized, when there's not enough awareness, the emotional pain exists beneath your level of awareness, and it can come out as certain kinds of reactivity in daily life. So you are taken over by reactions to certain things that trigger that type of emotional pain that is in you that you're completely unaware of. And emotional pain that is in total unawareness can very easily become a physical symptom. It transferred into the physical realm. Any kind of prolonged negative mental states which produce corresponding negative emotions affect the functioning of the physical organism. And even research has been done on this and been confirmed that negative states, mental emotional states, in the long term, affect the physical organism.